Have you ever wondered why some people reach retirement with total peace of mind, while others spend their final years in a state of constant worry? It is a question that keeps many of us awake at night as we look at our savings and wonder if it will ever be enough. The truth is that building wealth often feels like you are pushing a massive boulder up a very steep hill. In the beginning, you're doing all the heavy lifting and the boulder barely seems to move at all. You save, you sacrifice, and you cut back on the things you enjoy. Yet the numbers in your account only seem to crawl forward like a snail. But there is a secret to this journey that the media rarely explains clearly. There are three specific tipping points where the physics of money actually changes. These are the three net worth milestones that transition you from working for your money to having your money work for you. Once you understand these stages, you can stop guessing and start following a map that leads to true independence. Let us begin with the hardest part of the entire journey, which is the climb to your first $100,000. Why does $100,000 feel so impossible when it is actually your most powerful future asset? In the first decade of investing, there is a frustrating mismatch between the effort you put in and the results you can actually see. You show up every month and you contribute your hard-earned cash, but the needle barely shifts. This is what we call the slog, and it is where most people give up. It feels like trying to start a fire with wet wood. You stack the logs, you strike the matches, and you blow on the sparks, but all you see is smoke. Early on, 90% of your portfolio's growth comes from your own deposits, not from the market. If you're putting in $500 a month, your balance is mostly just a reflection of your own labor. The market's role is so small at first that the feedback loop feels broken. But if you stay consistent for about 7 years and 9 months at a 7% return, something incredible happens. You reach a point where your returns finally outweigh your contributions. In a typical scenario, your investment gains will eventually total around $54,000, outpacing your $46,000 in deposits. This is the psychological break. It is the moment the boulder reaches the top of the hill and starts rolling on its own momentum. Crossing $100,000 is a structural shift because your dollars finally have enough weight to start recruiting other dollars. You are no longer the only engine in the machine. Now that the engine is running, let us look at the second milestone, which is reaching $650,000. In many parts of the world, this is what we call breathing room money. It is not yacht money or private jet money, but it is the point where the constant pressure to earn every dollar with your time begins to disappear. At an 8% annual return, a portfolio of $650,000 generates about $52,000 a year. That is roughly $1,000 every single week, without you having to punch a time clock. Think about what that covers for a moment. It covers your mortgage or rent, your groceries, your utilities, and your health insurance. When your essentials are funded by your capital, your relationship with work changes forever. You move from making survival decisions to making opportunity decisions. You can say no to a toxic boss or a low-value project because your lights will stay on regardless of that paycheck. This milestone is a permission slip to live life on your own terms. You might still choose to work, but you are doing it because you want to, not because you have to. The fear of a missing paycheck loses its edge when your baseline is protected. Many people believe they need $5 or $10 million to feel free, but that high bar keeps them stuck in a cycle of anxiety. In reality, $650,000 is the switch that turns off the survival instinct and turns on your personal freedom. From here, the journey to the final milestone becomes much faster than you would ever imagine. The third milestone is the $1 million mark. Reaching 7 figures is often seen as the ultimate goal, but it is actually the beginning of true compounding dominance. The first million is grueling and takes decades of discipline, but the second million often arrives in less than half that time. When you have a base of $1 million, A simple 10% market gain adds $100,000 to your net worth in a single year. That is like collecting a high-level executive salary without working a single hour of overtime. At this stage, you are no longer playing defense with your savings. You are playing offense with your leverage. Doors that were previously closed start to open, and you gain access to investment opportunities that are reserved for those with significant capital. However, this is also the point where many people make their biggest mistakes. When you have more capital, your errors scale up along with your balance. The discipline that got you to $1 million is the same discipline you need to protect it. Your edge comes from keeping a simple, rules-based process and resisting the urge to chase hot tips or complex schemes. If you maintain a safe withdrawal rate, while your target return stays higher than your draw, you create an inflation buffer that lasts a lifetime. Your money throws off income, that income buys more assets, and those new assets add even more to your next year of income. This is a self-sustaining machine that continues to grow even while you are enjoying your retirement. So, why do so many people never reach these milestones? It is because they quit during the boring years, when the progress is quiet and invisible. They see the smoke, but they stop blowing on the sparks right before the fire catches. The math of wealth is not a straight line, it is a curve that bends upward. If you are feeling frustrated right now, remember that you are likely just in the early phase of the slog. The first $100,000 is the hardest, but it is the foundation for everything else. Do not break the chain and do not interrupt the compounding. Automate your savings, stay invested in low-cost funds, and let time do the heavy lifting for you. Whether you're in your 30s, 40s, or 50s, the process is exactly the same. Wealth is not about luck. It is about a repeatable, disciplined cycle that turns small habits into massive freedom. Start your 90-day plan today and focus on the next small step. Your future self will thank you for the peace of mind and the independence you're building right now. The journey might be slow at the start, but I promise you, the momentum is coming. Keep pushing that boulder, because once it reaches the tipping point, nothing can stop it.